they started to close temporary all the windows with the temporary boards. I don't know how to say it in English, but they started to close everything in our next door neighbor's apartment, which is very, very good for us because it will make our life easier. Everything there is closed, so we are not exposed to all kind of different weathers, winds, cold and hot weather. It's much easier now, so it will stay like that until the real massive building construction will start. Yeah, so this is their apartment, and this is the shared wall between Uri's room and their living room. Please note, this video includes the sound of sirens. We just got a message from the authorities that we need to move out of our home as soon as possible. It's a lot to process and it feels very heavy. But I'm way behind on my hair wash day and I'm going to tackle this first. It requires some war days creativity though, so first I take a very quick shower and get dressed right away, just in case a siren comes. Then I wash my hair in the sink. It is the only way that lets me move fast if there is an alert coming. And I managed to do it without any sirens today, and it feels like a real win. When we come back from the shelter for maybe the 10th time tonight, it is already my usual wake-up time. In my regular life, I would be starting my day now, but today I just go back to bed and try to get some sleep. We had a very intense night and we all need the rest. It is not easy to calm down when rockets fall day and night. It's hard to quiet the mind and fall asleep. Welcome and welcome back. My name is Moran. I'm a homebody at heart, sharing little stories from my life here in Israel. I had many plans for today's vlog, but living with constant sirens and a lot of time in the shelter teaches you to put plans aside. There is no room for plans right now. It turns out we need to leave our apartment very soon, so in today's vlog I'm taking you along for a few days. We are trying to keep some kind of routine while looking for a new place to move to. I will also share a very moving crochet along for my granny stripe shawl organized by a dear friend here on YouTube. And I'm trying to embrace what spring brings. Even though the war tries to interrupt Mother Nature, it has no success. I'm not sure what time it is when I wake up today, or even what day it is, but yesterday we got a call from the authorities that taking care of us after our home was hit by a rocket. They told us we must find a temporary place and move out. So while I tried to bake this dough after 72 hours in the fridge, Eyal is searching for apartments so we can start checking the options. It's not easy to bake these days, so if a siren comes, I just turn off the oven and hope for the best. But anyways, I'm trying to keep my sourdough baking routine as usual, as much as I can. We are clearly in a complicated situation and there are many open questions. You have sent so many kind messages and questions, and I don't have all the answers yet, but I will do my best to explain what we know as I take you through these days. So, we wanted to stay in our apartment as long as we could, even with the 2 rooms damaged. All 5 of us wanted to stay home. At first, the authorities said it was okay, but now they are asking us to move. First, for our safety, of course, and also so the repairs can start. Since the war is still going on, everything is even more complicated. When the rocket went through the roof, our neighbor's apartment was completely destroyed. Because we share walls, we also have damage. In one room, an exterior wall was pushed outward, leaving a gap near the ceiling. So this case involves our neighbors, the whole building, and us. This will not be a quick fix, that's for sure. We are learning how this works as we go, dealing with different kind, of authorities and people that take care of us. And on one hand, they ask us to find a temporary home similar to ours. On the other hand, they will cover the rent only for a limited time, which we hope will be enough. We now need to find a place to rent for a few months. We need to stay close to the kids' school, and it's better for us to find a furnished place so we don't have to move everything. Since we live in a 5-bedroom penthouse, finding something similar in our area is not easy. But we just want to find something that will suit our needs and will in some way feel homey. Many of you are asking who will cover the repair expenses. So in Israel, we receive compensation from the property tax fund. I hope this is the right way to say it in English. So we receive compensation for war damage to our home. While the authorities cover most of the costs, there are still limits. They will cover the rent, but only for a limited time, and we will probably need to add our own money. They also take into account the age of our property and base the compensation on its current value. They will repair the main damage, like the roof and the walls and insulation, but only to the basic level. Anything beyond that will be on us. So we are taking a deep breath, going step by step and preparing for a long process. The first step is finding a place to rent. Later today we will start seeing places in the neighborhood, and I will take you with me. Even saying this feels heavy. I really don't want to move, but we have no other choice. Standing here underneath our lemon tree and picking these bright yellow fruits feels like a quiet conversation with Mother Nature. I can almost hear her telling me not to worry. She reminds me that everything will fall back into place and it is just a matter of time. These lemons have been waiting for us, but we just couldn't find the time to get to them. This is the first year the tree has given us so much fruit. There is already a new batch coming and a new bloom with so many tiny baby lemons growing. I could easily spend the entire day out here, but we have to go see apartments now.
תחילת אפריל כזה, נגיד ב1 לאפריל.
So this is the entrance, and I think the only disadvantage with this flat is that it is facing a huge building area, which we're not happy with, but it might be our only option because this place, I'm not sure it's going to be a short stay, so people usually want you to stay a year and more. So to get a place for less than a year, it makes everything more complicated. So this is the disadvantage of this flat, but they are more flexible about the time that we will stay here. So yeah, this is the kitchen. And they have most of the appliances can stay here, so it's also an advantage for us. This is like a master bedroom, what they call. This is the second flat we are seeing today. Right when we entered it, we can both feel it's not for us. Eyal is being very polite, making the usual small talk and asking all the relevant questions. Even though it is very close to where we live, this is clearly not the place for us. It is more than I can explain in simple words. It is something you feel when you enter a place. So we are back to our broken but still cozy nest. Back home with a thankful heart for what we have. I'm cleaning the lemons. I need to wash away all the dust that accumulated here when the rocket hit, and also from the usual spring dusty weather. I use baking soda for so many purposes here, and it is great also for cleaning fruits. My sourdough starter is ready to go and actually waiting for me patiently, but unfortunately I will not have enough time to fold the dough today. I'm also completely out of energy. We are going out for a short walk. It's the ultimate stress relief for both of us. Many of you are asking why we don't just sleep in the shelter, and actually some families do stay there, especially those with small children who are hard to carry in the middle of the night. If you were our neighbors, I guess some of you might choose to stay there and some wouldn't. For us, it's not an option we like. First of all, it is freezing cold down there, and honestly, it's just not a very nice place to stay if you don't have to. Good. So all 5 of us prefer to go up and down the stairs. Sometimes we can use the elevator if we get an alert before the real siren starts. We are thinking about spending a night or two at Eyal's mom's house. She has 2 spare rooms, and one of them is a built-in safe room inside her apartment. If there is a siren there, you just walk into the next room, and those already sleeping in the safe room don't even have to get out of bed. The boys don't really like this idea because they want to stay close to their friends, but we are seriously considering it, especially today when I'm recording this voiceover after a few very tough nights. We are all completely exhausted and we really need a full night of sleep. Today I'm cooking a slow chicken stew. I want to have lunch ready for the next 2 or 3 days so I can have some quiet time to start editing this vlog. Spending time in my craft room and getting into my editing bubble calms me down more than I could imagine. And while I cook, I'm watching my friend Amber from a Lovely Yarn podcast here on YouTube. She's hosting a crochet along for my granny stripe shawl pattern, and it touches me so deeply. She does it because of the situation. It makes me smile and cry at the same time, and maybe the onions help a little too.
At the end, first I want to talk about a crochet along that I am hosting. There's this granny stripe shawl pattern that I absolutely love. This is a pattern by Moan of Crochet Object, and I have talked about her. I love her. She does very cozy home knitting, crochet, crafty vlogs, and she normally releases them every Saturday. Some of you may be aware, some of you may not be aware. She lives in Israel. It's very tumultuous times. Was it last week, I think? Her apartment building, part of a bomb hit her apartment building and her apartment was damaged. They are all safe, but I was like, oh, I've been praying for her and really thinking about everybody and everyone involved in the craziness that's going on in this world right now. And I was already planning on crocheting another one of these granny stripe shawls because I loved it. I remember I made this one 2 winters ago and it was like a balm to my soul. And then I was like, oh, maybe we could do a crochet along to kind of just show Moan and her family some support and maybe covering for the damage and stuff that they had experienced in their apartment building. And so I decided that I wanted to host a crochet along of this particular pattern. I am going to use a hashtag for Instagram. So first of all, to participate in this crochet along, all you need to do is buy the pattern, which I will link down below. There will be a prize at the end that I will gift some yarn. I'm going to open this up to everyone, international as well. This is my old one. It's very long. It is more of a shallow crescent shawl. I've been wearing this all winter because it makes me so happy. I am not kidding. Every time I get compliments on this, and we're gonna run it for 6 weeks, and I'm gonna start it immediately. Like, it starts now and it runs until, let's run it until the very end of April. And all you need to do is use the hashtag. The ALY stands for A Lovely Yarn. Use that hashtag on Instagram, and then also tag me so that I can see it. And then also I'm going to open up a Ravelry thread if you would rather use Ravelry. But it goes really fast because crochet is faster than knit in her family. And this is just, I feel like maybe a small way we can help as her fellow makers. And I know a lot of you also follow her because you told me so in the comments. I want to show you the yarn that I'm going to use, and this is what I've had this yarn. Where this one, I just did all random colors. I don't know that I had a single color repeat itself in this one. For this one, I'm going to just rotate through these 4 colors and put this one in between. And maybe I'll save the mini skein to do my scalloped edge because it has a scalloped edge.
Since Amber shared the crochet along in her podcast last Friday, so many of you have come to my Etsy and Ravelry shops to get the pattern. I feel your support and it means so much to me. I'm so thankful for Amber and for all of you. I truly don't think I have the words to thank you enough. I will leave the links to Amber's podcast and the pattern in the description box for you in case you want to join this thoughtful crochet along community. I'm recording this voiceover in a few different parts, which is not the usual way I usually like to do it. And now it's a little bit after the last session. I was sitting here and recording, and I have to get myself back into it. Sirens and running to the shelter are constantly interrupting our daily life, of course, but I somehow managed to finish up these two and get it ready and get it into the oven to cook slowly. The herb garden on our kitchen window is thriving. We have so many plants for these herbs, but there is just no room for plants at the moment. It is amazing how a little bit of freshly picked parsley can change the whole smell and flavor of the dish. My kids really love it when I add eggs into a slow-cooked stew. As usual, I stuff the pot so much that there is barely any room left, but I manage to squeeze them in before it goes into the oven. And once again, I don't have the time today to make a dough, and I don't even have the energy for that. So the starter goes back into the fridge now. And now when the pot is in the oven cooking low and slow, I thought I was heading to my studio to start editing, but planning is out of the question. parts of the wall are falling apart. Later that day, we are heading to check another potential home in the neighborhood closer to the high school. Honestly, it is the property of my dreams. The owner was an elderly lady who passed away, and her daughter is the one showing us the place. She was so willing to help us. We felt very open with her. We told her our whole story, and she said she would be more than happy to let us move in, even if it's just a short renting time. But unfortunately, the place is still fully furnished with the previous owner's things, and we're not sure if we would feel comfortable sleeping in those beds. So we decided to keep this option open and continue searching for more places. Back home, the scouts finally got permission to meet so they can take down the Purim festival. For now, they only gave permission to the older scouts to get together. Looking at these young people, they are the future. Somehow seeing them makes me feel that if these tough days are what it takes to make sure they have a better future here, then I am willing to go through it. If this situation leads to a better life for them, then maybe it is worth the constant fear of where the next rocket will fall, and all those night runs in and out of the shelter.
אמא, את בסדר? אפשר לשאול בזה כאן, לדעתי להיות בסדר.
Many of you are asking and caring about our elderly neighbors. Unfortunately, not all of them can make it down to the shelter. Some use wheelchairs or are connected to medical equipment that they cannot leave. In those cases, they usually wait in the staircase for safety. We offer to help, but they often prefer to stay there. Others make the effort to go down, but on very tough nights, they choose to stay in the shelter, which is very, very sad to see. They choose to stay sitting in a chair to try and get some sleep. Getting out of the bed so quickly makes them dizzy, and once they are up, it is very hard for them to fall asleep again, so they just stay sitting in the basement. It is such a sad situation. There is no easy way to describe how difficult this is on so many levels. I really hope this ends soon and for the best. I hope that on the other side of this war there is a better future for everyone. So many are trapped in this situation, and we all deserve a chance to live a peaceful life. We all deserve to live in peace.